Hey, welcome back to Get Down to Business. Today, we're focusing on a topic that's absolutely crucial for any business that wants to thrive: listening to your customers. And I can't think of a better person to guide us through this than Irene Yam. Irene is a recognized customer advisory board expert with over 2 decades of experience in the tech industry, working with companies like Riverbed, EMC, and RingCentral. She's passionate about building strong relationships between businesses and their customers. And her new book, Build a World-Class Customer Advisory Board: How to Create Deeper Relationships and Validate Strategies, is a must-read for any leader who wants to leverage the power of customer feedback. Irene brings a wealth of knowledge. I'm excited to have her on the show. Irene, welcome to Get Down to Business.
Thank you. Love to be here.
Absolutely. You've had a long and successful career in the tech industry. What sparked your interest in customer advisory boards, and why do you consider them so essential for business success?
Well, after about 24 years, I decided I wanted to do something that could really help the world. And with our digital age and with AI that we actually build, we humans, we still need human connection. And I think people focus on these new tools, but we're not spending enough time connecting with our customers, meaning, what do customers really think? Like before they roll out a new product, or maybe they didn't know that there were all these new other products coming. Getting that customer feedback with executives face to face, not like say in a focus group, but actually talking to your customers and getting a real true understanding of what their needs are, helps you build a better company. And not only that, helps foster a better culture too. We're all connecting. We're all, if the CEO can say, hey, I learned this from our customers, feed that back into their culture, everyone's working towards the same goal, is to serve their customer, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, the book is Build a World-Class Customer Advisory Board. So why did you write this book? And for those who may be unfamiliar, can you explain what a customer advisory board is and how it functions?
Sure, thanks. So a customer advisory board, think of it as, it's like a focus group, but instead a focus group is where you usually ask a certain type of person. Like we think the person that would buy this product is in their 20s and they like to drive cars, for example. Well, instead, you can actually sit down with your customers. You don't need to have a focus group. And the executives get to do this over 1 to 2 days. But now with the pandemic and everyone used to Zoom, people also like to have them with a virtual customer advisory board. And why I decided to write this is that there are a lot of executives that didn't even know that they could have these types of meetings, or maybe they called them executive briefings, but they didn't really think about bringing other customers together. It's that bond of sharing and learning together, because sometimes if you're from another industry and there's another customer from a different industry, you could learn from each other and you can use those use cases to actually help your own business. So in other words, why did I decide to write this again? Is more for people to learn how they can really maximize their customer relationships. And often these leaders, they don't know what's going on in this customer advisory board. And this book kind of walks you through how to do it if you're an executive, or actually the person who produces it, how to really put on one that's very thoughtful and that really has a strategy, not for just the meeting, but continuously. Like I met Adam on Tuesday. I met him 17 years ago. He's a big executive now at a big automobile company. So these are great connections to have.
Irene, in your book, you outline 5 key principles for building a world-class customer advisory board. Can you briefly describe these principles and why they're so important?
Yeah, so I'll just pick on Adam because he's fresh on my head. He's been to over 40 customer advisory boards, and we were just talking over lunch. He's like, "Oh, don't waste my time." So that's what he was saying, and that's actually one of my tenets: be respectful of time. Be respectful not only of your customers' time, but your executives' time. Build a thoughtful and empathetic agenda. Make sure that you have items that you want to share in exchange with your customers. What resonates with them? It could be What are the hot topics right now? What are the economic trends that are keeping you up at night? How are you progressing with your business? It could be topics like that. And then making sure you prepare. We need to do a little bit more work ahead of time when we're connecting with customers. Not just get on a call and have a willy-nilly call, but have a really thoughtful one. And then, the other concept is have a mission. Share that mission like, okay, customers, this is what we want to do with you. We really want to open up and we're looking to build this new product, but we need your help. So building that mission and then sharing that with them. And then lastly, take action and follow up. Boy, even I have to say, early in my career, when I first started, I was always on to the next thing. So after I had the cab, I didn't think about following up until I needed them. Wrong. So in this book, I also walk you through how to engage with customers after the customer advisory board because it's essential. You've built that trust, that community. Afterwards, if you need a question, like you need to validate, oh, should I buy this company? Oh, should I go this direction? Oh, you know what? I remember I'm going to call Rob or I'm going to call Adam. I'm going to ask him what they think because they actually they looked at these types of products before. I can get their advice. So again, be respectful of time with your customers, be empathetic, be thoughtful, prepare, follow the CAB mission, share that with them, take action and follow up. Those are the 5 things that really elevate and make it a world-class CAB. Now, and it doesn't even have to be a fancy hotel. People would really like it if you don't waste their time and you're really thoughtful about the customer advisory board.
And we'll dive into that after a very quick break. We'll talk about the potential for conducting virtual CAB meetings as well. Again, we're chatting with Irene Yam, and you're listening to Get Down to Business. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm chatting with the author of a brand new book, Build a World-Class Customer Advisory Board, How to Create Deeper Relationships and Validate Strategies. And the author is Irene Yam, who has just a wealth of knowledge and experience. We've been chatting with her. Irene, we've been chatting about customer advisory boards, CABs for short, and you just mentioned that this doesn't need to be in a high-priced hotel, doesn't even need to be in person. What are some of the key considerations for those who might look to establish a virtual meeting with their customer advisory board?
Yes. Well, first off, keep it short. So keep the meeting short. So originally, a physical CAB is 1 to 2 days. So some people think, okay, I'm going to make a virtual CAB and it's going to be 3 hours. Have you ever sat in a 3-hour webinar? Probably not. You've taken a lot of breaks, so you're not going to be able to get everyone in sync. And it's really hard. If you ever been on a webinar with all these people, I mean, you're squinting just to see what another person is saying. And oftentimes it's only like maybe 5 or so customers speaking. So the best thing is to have a small customer advisory board. Start with 5 customers and start with smaller meetings. Say, kick it off with 90 minutes and then subsequently have follow-up meetings, whether it be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour. It just depends on the content that you have.
Absolutely. Irene, what's the one piece of advice that you would give to any listener or company that's considering establishing a customer advisory board? What's the one bit of homework that you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Oh, thank you. I think when you're first starting a customer advisory board, you really want to think about the validation that you need, meaning what do you really need help in? And actually being very vulnerable and honest with them and asking for their help. And if you check in with these customers and they're willing to help you, then you can either have it virtually or in person. So, but I would really think about that mission, and then be thoughtful, reach out to them, say, I really need your help. You've been our customer for a long time and we really want to go to this part of the business and we're just not sure. Will you help us? Just be honest. And people want to help. I mean, in general, we humans want to help each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is great. So Irene, we're running out of time. I've got 1 minute left and I'm curious, what are some of the most common pitfalls or challenges that you see folks facing when setting up and running a CAB, and how can it be avoided?
Mm-hmm. I think sometimes our ego gets ahead of us. So there are some people who haven't been a part of a customer advisory board, and they feel like the need to show their customers everything. Like, okay, we're going to show them that, and then we're going to do a demo, and then we're going to, it's like death by slides. And I don't mean to exaggerate, but it's been like that for a lot of people. Now, that may kind of work physically, like because you can stop and watch people's reactions, but virtually, no, no, no. And I don't mean like, no, 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 but if you do that, the whole idea of a customer advisor, it's advisory. You're asking your customers to give you advice. So with that, keep the content short, keep it where it's engaging, making sure you have pauses. Ask customers, even if the quiet ones, ask them during a break or follow up afterwards if they're virtual and they didn't say much. Say, hey, Kirk, tell me a little bit more. How come you were so quiet? I'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Irene, I want to make sure our listeners can find your book, Build a World-Class Customer Advisory Board, and get in touch with you. How can they do so?
Well, Amazon's a great place. We also have some small businesses, bookstores that carry it as well. You can also search on Goodreads as well. And I'm on also LinkedIn. That's a great place to find me as well.
And Irene, I know you post a lot of great content and information. Thank you so much for joining us today. That's a wrap for us here on Get Down to Business, the show about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You get on my website, syklein.com. Got 11 plus years of shows, and you won't want to miss another one. Again, syklein.com. To success, let's get down to business. We'll see you next week right here on 856 The Answer.